Alright guys, this is another FSD 12.6.3 video. I'm going to enable it now. I gave my last video kind of like my overall impressions of FSD version 12, but a lot of that was just kind of running around in the city. There was no highway driving. So a few of you asked me, Jesus, to do a bit of highway driving just to see what I thought of version 12. So I'm going to do some running around, got some shopping and whatnot to do. So I'm rooting to make sure that I end up on the highway as much as possible. And kind of, I guess, besides that, let me know if there is anything specific while I have this car that you'd like me to test that I can then test with version 13. The car just slammed on the brakes randomly. So right there, that's something that I never experience anymore in version 13. And at the end of my last video, the car did like a weird phantom brake, and right now it just did it again. So yeah, I mean, I said I really think version 12 is good, and it is good, it's impressive, but there's no doubt in my mind that version 13 is better. And I actually looked, there was a video that was on Reddit and on X where this person's saying, comparing version 12 to 13, and in their opinion, they think it's basically the same. I strongly disagree with that. I think there's kind of like no doubt in my mind that version 13 is better. Both are very similar, obviously, but it's kind of crazy to say that they're comparable in the sense that they're defending version 12, saying it's just as good, but I don't know. Let's see what the car does here. So we should slow down, which we are, which is good. I've talked about it in the past. I have no idea what the car does for signals. Like as a human driver, I see that person's signaling, so I would slow down with them. And there's times where I feel like the car doesn't really react to the signal and will end up doing a late brake. In that scenario, it was fine, so not a big deal. So the speed through here is a little quick. We're going 80 and a 60. That is kind of what people go through here. Like I've mentioned in the past, I usually like to speed by about 10 over. So this is a little bit faster than I would drive. And it's interesting. This is 100% faster than version 13 goes through this area. Version 13 rarely gets up to 80 kilometers an hour. It sits more at like between, I've even critiqued it for going too slow through here, to just above 60. So version 12 is definitely like a quicker, it seems faster, and that's not necessarily always a good thing. Okay, coming up to a roundabout here, I would go now. Okay. We definitely could have gone. So I'd go now, we're not. Okay, I'm pressing the accelerator because there's a car right behind us. So that, again, version 13 is basically flawless with roundabouts. Version 12, for whatever reason, just kind of hung out there. We had a really like human-sized gap, like a gap that a human would have taken initially that we should have taken, and we didn't. It's a cool paint job. And then there was just, after that, there was nobody in the roundabout, nobody on our left, nobody in front of us, and the car just hung out. So that's definitely a worse version of FSD than version 13, because like I said, I drive this route a lot, and I can't tell you the last time I've had to press the accelerator to get through that roundabout. A couple things. One, I switched this camera because somebody asked me to, they said they want to see more of like the surroundings. So I put this on, it's like a super view, like a much wider stretched out angle. I think as a result, you'll probably see as far as even here, like you'll be able to see like out this window and out that window, which previously you couldn't because I had it on a linear mode. So let me know if you like this new kind of like stretched angle, or if you prefer it to look linear, like more like a normal camera. I just don't want it to look too distorted and fake. Okay, coming up to another roundabout. I'll tell you when I would go. I would go right now. I would go right now, and I wouldn't go. Okay, I'll see what it does after this Kia. Okay. So again, we had a very reasonable gap to go through, and the car hesitated, and like, it's fine. We went after the Kia. It's okay. But version 13 almost certainly would have just taken that gap, and it would have been totally safe and comfortable for it to have done that. Another thing that I'm considering trying, let me know if any of you have any interest in this, especially when like a new version comes out for maybe my initial drive, or if there's any other reason why I could think it would make sense. But I want to do potentially live streaming in the car. Like, obviously safety is the most important thing when you're driving, so like the thought of interacting with you guys as I'm driving and driving safely, there's a balancing act there for sure. But I mean, I could throw my phone there, mount it out, and have it live stream. Could be cool. I don't have maybe enough of an audience yet to do that, because I don't want to start a live stream and then have it be like me and one other person watching. Okay, I would tell you when I would go. I wouldn't go, and then I would go. Okay, actually, no, it's fine that I waited. Okay, I'd go now. Yeah, I mean, it's not something that'll definitely happen, but is there just any, for those of you that watch this channel, would you watch a live stream if I, on a Sunday, went for drives and live streamed it, or something, if it was maybe on a schedule? Is that something that all interests people? Okay, we are getting on the highway. I think for now, so I don't know if I've properly clarified it in my last video, these driving profiles that I thought were city only work on the highway. Like in version 13, these profiles exist on all city and highway roads. Only on the latest version of FSD version 12 is that the case, but on my version, these profiles, chill, standard, and hurry, will only, like, you'll see it'll pop on as we get onto the highway. I'm going to leave it on standard just to see how the car does. I'm going to try not to intervene or change anything, but yeah, we are on a, what do we say, 40% speed offset. Again, to preface, I don't like to speed by more than 10, maybe 15 kilometers an hour, so I hope that the car doesn't try to go faster than that. Good job through all this, though. Good job exiting, good job merging. This attention monitoring unavailable popped up a few times in my last video. Seems way more sensitive in Hardware 3. Like, I rarely get the attention monitoring unavailable when I'm looking around, and it seems I've gotten it several times in this car, so I'm not sure why that is. This is good. 114. We're in the fast lane passing these vehicles. I love this follow distance, 1,000, 2.5 seconds follow distance. So to me, this is really good. The thing that both version 12 and 13 don't do, that I so desperately wish that they would, is they don't use the HOV lane. So up here on the left is the HOV lane. If I'm manually driving, 100% of the time I'm in that lane. It's just easier. You don't have vehicles coming in and out. You can set the speed you want. It's great. The other thing too is, like, we have HOV lane exits. Like right here is an HOV exit. It would just be faster to use it. You would exit on the HOV lane off the highway and then pop in here. The car doesn't really seem to understand that. Like, it doesn't use HOV lanes that often, and it doesn't use HOV exits that often. So that's not necessarily a version 12 or 13 thing. That's, again, map data issues. Good job. Speed's great, 105. We got past those vehicles. We popped over to the right lane. So it's actually really good that how it's handling this all, I would say. Okay, nice job. That car was slowing down in front of us. The brake lights went on, and as soon as I would have slowed down, the car definitely slowed down. So it didn't wait too long to start braking, which is something I do fault FSD for a lot. That felt like a really good distance for the car to start slowing down. Okay, good job here. This is all being handled honestly very well by the car. Moving over right away, and then we'll just pop into this parking lot and I will park us though. One thing that I haven't done, I keep manually parking, but I'll use auto park here in the parking lot. So one thing FSD does that I think is somewhat unhuman is we sit back here rather than enter the intersection. I think it'd be a lot more normal for the car to sit up there. It worked out here, but again, like I think human drivers for the most part sit halfway in the intersection and then we'll clear the intersection when either the light goes yellow or there's a spot for it too. Cool. So I will auto park right here. I'll let this person go by first. Here, I'll park right here. Okay, so see how the car does here. Auto park on version 12 and 13 has always felt fairly similar to me. Like, auto park is good, and it hasn't really changed drastically in a while. So I'd say this feels very similar to how auto park performs in my car. Nice job. One move, pretty quick. Okay, I'll see you guys in 2 seconds. All right, so I'm all finished there. Actually heading to grab a coffee. One thing I wanted to show, again, a lot of this is for like people that don't own Teslas. There's times where I'm just explaining things that I didn't know. So for anybody that's watching my channel that doesn't own a Tesla, the cool thing is you can always have Sentry Mode enabled if you'd like. It does drain your battery quite a bit, but what it is your car becomes like a mobile security system. If any of the cameras detect a person, it will then record and you'll have this notification when you get to your car. So I was just inside the grocery store, and during that time, it looks like 3 people walked by the car. For the most part, I always ignore this, but like, I mean, the last one is me coming up to the car, trying to get into it. And then you can go into here, and you can go to Sentry, and then you can see all the, it's like, this is probably the girl parking next to me. So if you ever were parked and your car got keyed or backed into, that's where you see a lot of these clips, because if there's a person or anything like that, any of that will get recorded. It's cool. It's a great feature. You can, if you do have it, I recommend, where's security? Safety. You enable it either in the phone or right here in the safety menu. I would recommend excluding home and work, depending on where you live. Because like I said, it does drain the battery, and for me, like I have other cameras pointed at my car at home, and if your car's parked in a garage, like you just don't want to drain the battery. So anyways, give me 1 second here. Okay, so heading to McDonald's. I'm trying to just kind of do as much driving as I can to test FSD. So I'm curious. I'll enable it now. We have somebody in front of us, so we shouldn't go. And we have that person backing out as well. So if it was me, I would, yeah, okay, perfect, go right. As I'm heading to McDonald's, I have to give a massive shout out to 3 people that donated on my last video. There was, I'll put your names up on the screen right now, but Jesper, I hope I'm saying that right. $10 donation, incredibly kind. Thank you so much. That means a lot. You follow me on X as well, so that's cool. For those of you that don't and that have Twitter or X, I am on there, and you can see at the bottom of the screen if you want to follow me. I just post a lot more daily stuff than I do here with the longer form videos on YouTube. So Jesper, thanks for the $10. The car is stopped right now. I'm intervening by pressing the gas. And then the Commander Dash, I believe that's your name. I hope I got it right. I think it was like a $20 donation, which is again, huge, insane. Like, you guys don't have to do this, but genuinely, that one I got as I was going to bed last night, and I don't know, a $1 donation would make my day. You don't need to donate anything, but $20 is incredibly kind. Thank you so much. That will be a lot of coffees. I'm basically set for like the month. And then Tom, who donated on my last video, we should go. We're hesitating. Okay, where'd it go? Tom, who donated on my last video, just really had to one-up himself and gave me a $50 donation, which is insane. That's huge. Please don't feel like you need to do that again. You're done. You're a lifelong donator. Thank you so much. I think he said, grab yourself lunch. That's cool. Thank you very much, all three of you. And those of you that don't donate but just comment on my channel, I love it. I love to talk with you guys and engage with you guys. If you ever have any questions Tesla related, I should be able to answer them for you. I spend an ungodly amount of time watching videos about these cars, learning about these cars, driving these cars. The car just phantom braked. So please reach out to me if you have anything you'd like to see or anything you'd like answered. Yeah, really cool. So anyways, I'm going to grab coffee. And that is, by and large, thank you so much to the people that donate. We're in the wrong lane, aren't we? No, that's right, sorry. Yeah. For the drive, it's okay. We had a phantom brake there as I was talking, and it's definitely way more hesitant to go. Like the other day I was saying it's too confident, and now I'm saying it's like, you know, at the roundabouts and at left turns there, it's like it doesn't have that confidence that I was saying that it has too much of. Attention monitoring unavailable. I don't know. Maybe it's the car. For those of you that think I should do a camera recalibration, I strongly disagree. I don't think that those do anything. Huge pothole here. Okay, got lucky. I'd actually be curious, this McDonald's that we're gonna pull into, if you watch in one of my videos from like a couple weeks ago, Jay and I were pulling into here.
We're to pull in. We shouldn't pull in. Oh yeah, I guess
This'll work.
Oh dear.
We're good still.
I guess we're just waiting. And now this car's here.
Okay, my good gas. See, it said object in path.
Oh. Because that guy was probably like, why are you just sitting there?
Yeah, that was really bad. And as it pulled into the parking lot, it gave a takeover message because it said object in path. So like right here, the car stopped. All right. So version 12 just handled that better than the car did in my car the other day. Okay, I will undoubtedly have to take over because I don't think this thing's taking us through the drive-thru. Maybe. Okay, we're parked right smack dab between two parking spots. Not the worst park job ever, though. I mean, is it going to stop or is it going to go? The wheel's moving. It has something on its mind. I'm very curious what it's thinking it wants to do right now. There's nobody around, so I'll let it play out here. I always find this funny to watch. I mean, the computer is thinking at like a superhuman rate, faster than we could even comprehend. But when you see the wheel turn this slow, it's like a single-digit IQ. It's like it's just working so hard to think about what the next thing to do is, and it's hilarious how long it takes itself. Like, look at this wheel; it's still spinning. I have no idea what it's doing. Do I take over or do I let it? I mean, it's still turning this wheel. We're not stopped. Like, we're still in drive. The car, if it was at its destination, would have thrown itself into park. I think it wants to get over here somehow. Okay, I'm going to give it just like a touch of an accelerator to see if it does something. Huh. This is me pressing the accelerator. Yeah, this version of FSD can't go backwards, and you can see its little like tentacle. It was like reaching, like, it's hard to tell. Version 12 seems like it knows about reversing, but because it can't, you can see the computer like really struggle. I'm pressing the gas. Because right now I think it wants to do a 3-point turn. That would be the right thing to do. And you can see like this little route planner, see how it's going backwards? Right now, more than anything in life, that car wants to go backwards, but it can't. Just a funny like thing to watch the car do. Anyways, I'm gonna take over and go through the drive-thru. Okay, I got the coffee now. We slammed on the brakes for no reason. This is me trying to leave the drive-thru, by the way. We should go not out this way. We should go not this way, not this way. Okay. This is where I think the bumper camera is like fairly needed because you end up with like such a high blind spot. I would wait. It's the hard one. You could definitely go because we have to go left after this. I rather, like, even as a human driver, I'd just rather wait for both lanes to open to make this move easier. So I don't mind that the car just waited. And then for the drive home, just to test the difference, I'll put it in hurry on the highway to see how it does. Okay, heading through the light here. Nice job taking this lane. I always say that this is the right thing to do. You should turn into the first lane possible. So, especially when you have vehicles like that truck beside us was merging in here. So it's just the safer, right thing to do. I think, in my opinion, I don't know. There was someone in the comments on my last video there wondering if we have a Panera here in Canada because they have $5 for unlimited drinks. It's like a monthly pass thing, and I think he called it unlimited sips, so I assume it's coffee as well as anything else. I replied to him, but just, we definitely don't have that here in Canada. That would be so nice if we did, though. Like, unlimited coffee for $5 a month seems insane, but we don't even have that franchise. It is in Washington, which is quite close to me, but sadly we don't have that here. I don't think there's anything like that here. I don't know if there's any company that offers like a monthly cost for unlimited coffees. If there is, let me know. Okay, a little bit aggressive here as we like, yeah, you have to be in the seat. Like, I wish I had Chuck Cook's telemetry overlay, but just that whole exit as we pulled into these, like, it felt very jerky, just sloppy. Like, it did it, it's fine, but the refinement that version 13 has over this is incredibly noticeable in situations like that. Version 13 is rarely like rocking me in my seat as we do things. Okay, so we are in hurry profile with the max speed offset to 40, which equals 135 kilometers an hour. I hope we don't do that. So I assume straight away we're in the left lane. Yep, that's good. Technically we could pop into this lane because we're in the HW lane. I think legally we shouldn't have because this is a solid white line. But I think people do, like the guy in front of us just did it. People do it all the time here. I don't mind this speed, a little fat, 116 is a little faster than I would go, but we're gonna get slowed down by this car anyways. So when I was saying on the drive here that the car rarely uses the HW lane, I still say that's true. Like right now we're using the HW lane because we're in hurry mode and the car is just obsessed with the left lane. I don't think it's putting us here because it's trying to be cognizant of the fact that I have use HOV lanes on. Yeah, so I have the toggle to like use HOV lanes, but I'm almost certain FSD does not understand that. And like I said, us being here is just off the fact that the car wants to be in the left lane. 117's quicker than I'd go. people go way faster on this road, but it's just, this is a bit faster than I'd go. It's not a huge deal though. Okay, we got out of that lane, and I don't know if that's because we're exiting in 2.5 kilometers. If it is, nice job, I suppose. No, because we're back in this lane now, so. Okay, we have some behind us. We're maybe just going faster than the smart car. Like, and we're exiting at 1.3 kilometers. I would hope, worst case scenario, we get between these two vehicles. 117, 118. I mean, in some ways I appreciate that it's using like a little bit of extra speed to get in front of this bigger vehicle. So it's not the worst thing actually what it just did. That's what I would have done if I was in a hurry. We're in the hurry profile, so I kind of can't fault it for what it just did there. Okay, so we're exiting. The recommended speed here for this is 50. And yeah, good job slowing down. That was actually really well done. I mean, we were in the hurry profile and we definitely did hurry things just there in the highway. In the fast lane, drove quick, got around slow moving vehicles. We do have a merge from our left here, but we have no vehicles coming, so we should just be good to go. I am still not certain, even on version 13, if the car handles those types of merges properly, because there's times where it feels like we're coming in and not recognizing the fact that there's vehicles in the lane. So I've had to take over multiple times there. Yeah. But that's version 13 as well. Like, that's the same thing on my car. Slammed down the brakes just there. Kind of like a quick, you can see it in the thing if you're watching this, because the white is when we're giving gas and green is the regenerative braking. So when I talk about the car like braking hard, even though it's not maybe super obvious, if you were to look at the screen you can see the bar, and that means we're just coming off the gas, which gives you kind of that like weird feeling for no reason. Speed's good through here. It's exactly what I would drive, 10, 12 over. We'll see how it does here with a couple more. These are the roundabouts that we came here on. We're going back, so I would just go. There's no vehicles, no reason to slow down. Perfect. And it signals out, which is perfect as well, so really good job there. And so I'll go home after this, and then I'll probably do, I have no idea what order I'll release the videos in. So either there will be a test loop video that I will have already released, or the video that's going to come out after this will be my test loop. But I'm going to do the same test loop that I've been doing in my car since version 12 dot something. I think I've done it 5 or 6 times now. And I'll do that same test loop in this car just to compare a lot of things one-to-one, like how it interacts with speed bumps, school zones, all that sort of stuff. And it's just a good benchmark for me to compare my car to this car with basically the exact same circumstances. So yeah, if it isn't out already, watch for that to come out soon, or if it is out, check my channel and watch that. And like I said, you can go, I have a playlist that's all my test loop videos, so you can go and look at how the Hardware 3 car compares to the Hardware 4 car on the exact same loop. Okay, coming up here, I would wait, and then right after this, I would go. Perfect. Nice job. The button I miss, that's on my car, like right here, I can press something, and I see both the repeater cameras and the rear view mirror. I don't think that that's an option. I don't know how to bring it up if it is. Is it this? No, it's dash cams. Oh, cameras. That might be, you might be able to set that as like a favorite on one of these things, but it's just really handy for me to pull it up to see, and also to give you guys context if like there's something, if I'm like, oh, we're close to the lanes, whatever, but it's nice that it's here on my wheel. Yeah, it's really interesting. Like, I don't think I can tell you the last time that I've gone 80 on this road in my car. And actually, let's see if it slows down. So we're going 78, 76, 75. Yeah, so this car almost behaves the same as my car, where I say that it slows down going up hills, and I guess that's just the way FSD is. Interesting. Cool, so that'll be most of the drive. Not super exciting, just a little bit of mainly focusing on highway. It wasn't a ton of highway driving because I just didn't have that far to go today, but it gives me an idea of how the car interacts on the highway. I mean, just from how it is in this, entering those traffic circles and a couple other things, like, my review still stands that version 12 is definitely not as good as version 13. Good, but much less refined. Yeah. I will see you all on the next one. I hope you enjoyed it. GoPro, stop recording.